Hello, my name is Nisha Noor and welcome to Millennium Headlines. This week's top headlines are: Mitt Romney says he'll make decision on supporting Trump in 2020 down the road. Mitt Romney said Saturday that he could not yet commit to supporting Donald Trump's 2020 re-election campaign, making it clear that he intends to stake his claim as an independent voice for Utah. "I will make that decision down the road," Romney, who is running for U.S. Senate, said in an interview with CNN as he waited for his turn to speak at the Utah GOP convention where he was vying for his party's nomination. "As a person of political experience, if I endorse someone, I'll want to know what it is in for Utah and what help would he provide for us on key priorities in Utah. So I'm not a cheap date," he said. Romney said he assumed there would be Republican contenders who will challenge Trump, but underscored, "I also assume that President Trump will be the nominee of our party in 2020. As he has campaigned across Utah, Romney has pointed out that he largely agrees with Trump on policy, but takes issue with some of his harsh rhetoric. But he was a fierce critic of Trump during the primary phase of the 2016 presidential race, calling him out as an imposter and criticizing his harsh tone on immigrants from Mexico and criticizing Trump's crude comments about women. Verne Troyer, Mini-Me in Austin Powers films, dies at 49. Verne Troyer, who played Mini-Me in 2 of the Austin Powers comedy films, has died at the age of 49, according to statements posted to his social media accounts Saturday. Troyer was 49. No cause of death was immediately released. He was hospitalized earlier this month after emergency responders in LA went to his home, according to media reports. Verne was an extremely caring individual. He was wanted to make everyone smile, be happy, and laugh, a statement posted to his social media said. Anybody in need, he would help to an extent possible. Verne hoped he made a positive change with the platform he had and worked towards spreading that message every day. Troyer, who was reportedly 2 feet 8 inches tall, once joked with CNN's Wolf Blitzer in 2002 that after gaining fame as Mini-Me, he would go out in public with a hat and sunglasses on, but it just doesn't seem to work. He added, "I'm still trying to get used to it. I'm just adjusting day by day, so I don't know. I'm just enjoying it and taking it one step at a time." According to the Internet Movie Database, Troyer was in 58 movies and television films. He played Mini-Me, the diminutive clone of Mike Myers' Dr. Evil in Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, and Austin Powers in Goldmember. Chinese President Xi Jinping will visit Pyongyang soon, official says. Chinese President Xi Jinping is preparing to visit the North Korean capital of Pyongyang, an official with knowledge of the discussions told CNN Wednesday. It would be the Chinese leader's first official visit to North Korea since he came to power as head of the Chinese Communist Party in November 2012. The official, who didn't want to be identified, said the visit will happen soon, possibly after the planned summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, which is expected to take place in late May or early June. Relations between North Korea and its longtime ally China have warmed in the past month following a surprise visit by Kim to Beijing in late March for a meeting with Xi. North Korean state media at the same time said Xi had accepted an invitation to visit Pyongyang during Kim's trip. It's the latest development in a flurry of diplomacy over recent weeks in the Korean peninsula. Trump was confirmed that the CIA Director Mike Pompeo visited North Korea earlier in April and met Kim to lay the groundwork for the historic U.S.-North Korea summit. Salisbury cleanup targets toxic hotspots after scruple poisoning. Work is beginning in the English city of Salisbury to decontaminate potentially toxic hotspots linked to the nerve agent poisoning of former Russian double agent Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia. Residents were briefed Thursday evening by government and local officials on the cleanup operation in 9 locations across the city, according to Britain's Press Association, a news agency. Police believe the pair first came into contact with the substance identified by the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons as a Novichok agent at Sergei Skripal's home. The highest concentration of the substance was found on the front door. A number of sites around the city, including a pub and a restaurant visited by the Skripals, have been cordoned off since the March 4th attack. We have to make an assumption that in certain circumstances there will be relatively high concentrations, probably in very, very specific locations, which could be at levels that could be toxic to individuals. Ian Boyd, Chief Scientific Advisor of the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, told residents, according to the Press Association. Salisbury's Bourne Hill offices, which house the police station and local government, are closing for up to 8 weeks as part of the cleanup operation. Decontamination efforts will focus on the evidence storage area and 2 lockers, Wiltshire Council said, with other areas being cleaned as a precaution. Ensure safety of quota, protesters in Bangladesh. General students of Dhaka University who took part in the recent quota protests are facing harassment and intimidation by DU authorities and leaders of ruling party student wing Bangladesh Chhatra League. The authorities moved to drive out female students from Sophia Kamal Hall on Thursday night in an example of such harassment. Speakers on Saturday observed in a protest rally held in Shahbag. A platform of concerned guardians and citizens organized the rally and demanded safety of students in DU resident halls, including Sophia Kamal Hall, and ensuring a democratic environment on the DU campus. A large number of guardians, students, and professionals joined the rally despite inclement weather and voiced their concern on the suppression and the intimidation of students who took part in recent quota reform movement by the ruling party student wing and DU authorities. Speakers also condemned Hall Provost Rabida Rizwana's threat to drive out 2,000 residential students if necessary, terming this shameful and unprecedented. DU's History Department's Ahmad Kamal said the incident of intimidating students by the Hall authorities for taking part in the quota movement is shameful and unprecedented in DU's history. Terming the residential halls of DU as the epicenter of autocracy, he urged the DU authorities to stop intimidating students for taking part in quota movement. Lawyer Jyotimar Barua said the way Sophia Kamal Hall's provost was checking students' mobile phones, threatening to file cases against them and spying on them was a criminal offense. She does not have any right to do what she has done so far, he added. Teacher of DU's accounting department of Mushuhadi Sultana urged all teachers and professionals to be vocal against all kinds of repression of students. Bangladesh takes little steps to prosecute abuses, killings by security forces. The government of Bangladesh took limited measures to investigate and prosecute cases of abuse and killing by security forces in 2017. The government of Bangladesh took limited measures to investigate and prosecute cases of abuse and killing by security forces in 2017, said a U.S. report of human rights practices released Friday. U.S. Acting Secretary of State John J. Sullivan at a press conference released the report according to UNB news agency. While briefing journalists, the acting secretary condemned the brutal attacks on the Rohingya community in Myanmar. Those responsible for the violation, abuses, and attacks must be held accountable. More than 670,000 Rohingya have fled to Bangladesh in recent months. Hundreds of thousands of civilians have been internally displaced. In the report, it was stated the public distrust of police and security services of Bangladesh deterred many from approaching government forces for assistance or to report criminal incidents. Civilian authorities maintained effective control over the security forces, the report added. The most significant human rights issues included extrajudicial killings, torture, arbitrary or unlawful detentions, forced disappearances by government security forces, and restrictions on civil liberties, including freedom of speech, press, and the activities of non-governmental organizations, also known as NGOs. Indigenous person and sexual orientation and gender identity also persisted, and in part due to a lack of accountability are also known in the report. Trafficking in persons remains a serious problem, as did restrictions on workers' rights and the worst forms of child labor, the report said. There were reports of widespread immunity for security force abuses too. The report, in its press and media freedom section, said both print and online independent media were active and expressed a wide variety of views. However, the report says media outlets that criticize the government have experienced a negative government pressure. The government maintains editorial control over the Bangladesh public television station, also known as BTV, and mandated that private channels broadcast government content at no charge. Government's foreign policy fails, alleges BNP. Bangladesh National Party (BNP) on Saturday alleged that the government could not resolve the Rohingya crisis and some outstanding problems with India due to the Uttar diplomatic failure, reports UNB. We have seen the Prime Minister shaking hands with Queen Elizabeth at the Commonwealth Summit in London. But why are the results? You still couldn't send back even a single Rohingya out one of a million. The government's foreign policy utterly failed, said BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir. Speaking at a discussion, he further said the government claims India is its very big friend and the relationship with the country is now at its best level. But it still couldn't resolve the Teesta water sharing dispute. Our citizens are still being shot dead along the border. Fakhrul said the current government will not be able to resolve any problems of the country as it has no relationship with the people. Jyotiya Juva Shangati of Jatiya Party arranged the program at the National Press Club marking its founding anniversary. About the 11th parliamentary elections, Fakhrul said the government should be ashamed of taking about the general election since it is not allowing the country's one of the biggest political parties to carry out normal political activities. We would like to clearly say that the election will be held in the country only when a proper environment and a level playing field will be created. Election will be held with Khaleda Zia will be freed and lead us. We hope good sense will prevail upon you, he added. The BNP leader said a proper level playing field will be created for a credible election when the current, what he dubbed illegal prime minister, will resign and dissolve the parliament. He demanded the government immediately release their ailing chairperson Khaleda Zia from jail so that she can receive better treatment. Awami League team to visit India Sunday. A 19-member delegation of the ruling Awami League, led by its General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir, leaves Dhaka for New Delhi on Sunday at the invitation of the Indian ruling Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP), reports UNB. During the three-day visit, the Awami League delegation will have a meeting with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday. The delegation will also meet BJP President Amit Shah and Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan, said a party press release on Saturday. BJP General Secretary Ram Madhav will host dinner at the Awami League delegation members. Bangladesh High Commissioner to India Saeed Mozem Ali will also host dinner party for the Awami League leaders on Sunday. The visit is viewed as an important one as the two countries are heading towards their next national elections, said a political source. Obaidul Qadir briefed the media at a press conference at the party President Sheikh Hasina's Dhanmondi political office about the visit on Saturday. He hoped the relations between Bangladesh and India will further be strengthened through the visit. The delegation members will also pay respect to memorials to Mahatma Gandhi. The delegation is scheduled to return home on Tuesday. This has been Nisha Noor. Thank you for watching Millennium Headlines. See you next week.